Hello, Chipmunk and Chipette fans. My name is Grandy Tamias, and welcome back to another installment of Alvin and the Chipmunks Elaborations. And for today's topic, I want to, again, talk about the possibility of the CGI series returning, or rather, the lack thereof. Because crushing y'all's dreams has been a thing on my channel since the beginning. Now I am become death, the destroyer of Chipmunk fan expectations. In all seriousness, some new information has come out from PGS Entertainment regarding the future of the CGI series, PGS being the distribution company for it. On December 19th, 2024, their official Facebook account made this post saying, quote, "Exciting news for Chipmunk fans. Bagdasarian Productions' hit TV series Alvin and the Chipmunks, created by Janice Carmen, expands its reach as Nickelodeon renews 5 seasons for UK, Ireland, and Italy. More misadventures and musical fun with Alvin, Simon, Theodore, and the Chipettes coming in 2025. Thank you, Nickelodeon. The series is wholly owned by Bagdasarian Productions and produced in collaboration with Micross Animation, IP, formerly Technicolor Animation Productions, licensed by broadcasters worldwide, yada yada yada, distributed by PGS Entertainment." End quote. Also, gee, could they not have used a better picture for Alvin? Wait, renews 5 seasons? More misadventures coming in 2025? We had 5 seasons already. Does that mean Alvin and the Chipmunks is coming back this year and we're getting 10 seasons total? No. I can assure you, this is just poorly worded, and reviving the show is not what this post was meant to imply. Let's break things down for 3 reasons. 1, if this were the series being revived for new seasons, why would it only be limited to the UK, Ireland, and Italy? That's f***ing unfair! Especially when it's an American series co-produced in France. Even all 5 of those countries combined would be too small of a market to sustain the series for 5 more seasons. It would be financially unviable. We already saw how the show's American viewer base hit rock bottom, and Nickelodeon mistreated the show by airing its last 6 episodes on Nicktoons. So, what makes you think that they'd want to air the show again if it were revived? Reason number 2, shows like Alvin and the Chipmunks don't just get double the number of seasons announced overnight. That would keep the series running into the 2030s, and assuming these seasons are the same length as the previous 5, that's a lot of content to promise the networks. Previous seasons of the show were announced 1 or 2 at a time, even if they never ended up happening. And finally, reason number 3, the series was already confirmed to be cancelled. As I explained in my What's Next After Alvin video, series executive producer Ross Bagdasarian Jr. said that he and his family had already finished the show and are trying to come up with the next new idea for Alvin and the Chipmunks. Why would they just suddenly bring it back? Besides, he and his wife Janice Carmen already expressed how tiring the production of the show was, so I don't think that they'd want to do that again. But then that leaves us with the question, if the CGI series is not coming back, what the heck is this post supposed to mean? Well, a few days later, PGS made this post saying, quote, "Exciting news for UK and Ireland fans. Sky brings Bagdasarian Productions' hit TV series Alvin and the Chipmunks, created by Janice Carmen, home with an all-new deal featuring all 5 seasons. Starting in 2025, join Alvin, Simon, Theodore, and the Chipettes on Sky for more musical mayhem across the UK, Ireland, and British territories. Here's to more Chipmunk adventures with Sky." And then the same stuff before about the companies. I think this post was much better worded than the last one because it specified that only in the UK, Ireland, and the UK's other territories, TV provider Sky would be airing all 5 seasons as part of their all-new deal with PGS. The seasons themselves aren't new, the deal for Sky to air them is. So I think what the first post was meant to say was that the series was renewed to air reruns of the existing 5 seasons in those regions, plus Italy. And this actually makes a lot of sense, as even though those regions already aired the show up to the end of its 5th season, PGS would still like to keep it around after its original lifespan. In fact, I want to take this opportunity to mention that there are countries outside of North America and Europe that likely haven't caught up yet. As late as 2020, the show started airing in China, and on Disney Channel in Japan as of 2022. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up staying around in China for a while because that's a market of 1.4 billion people. I also want to take this opportunity to mention this Micross company and clear up some mistakes that I made in previous videos. In 2022, they had merged with fellow French company Technicolor Animation, who were the ones responsible for animating Alvin and the Chipmunks, and long story short, this is actually what caused the series to end production. This is just the unfortunate nature of what happens when companies merge. Plans get lost or cancelled in the shuffle, probably because it's too much of a hassle to maintain them during the merging process. things would have to be renegotiated with all parties involved, and sometimes not everyone's willing to reach an agreement. I've talked about how Bagdasarian Productions has been to blame for things like this before, but whether they were responsible for this case too, we can't be sure. But this loss of the animation studio would actually explain why we had a storyboard sequence set after the end of the season 5 finale, the tour, complete with voice acting. Because most of the voices on the show were done by the Bagdasarian family, and the storyboards were likely handled by someone outside of Technicolor, that would explain why those aspects of this unmade episode's production got complete. But not the 3D animation, which is handled by Technicolor based in France, although most of the actual animation process is done by their division in India. In all likelihood, Season 6 and 7 were confirmed in writing, but cancelled quietly during the merger. I know it's not standard practice in the industry for projects like these to just end and not be officially declared cancelled until after the fact, if at all, but I think we need to face the unfortunate reality. Alvin and the Chipmunks has just had a string of bad luck when it comes to this. And it doesn't help that not all of the companies or people involved are known for reliability. Like, I doubt most of you even know about PGS outside of them distributing this series. I mean, I hadn't. They certainly aren't a household name, so their mistakes aren't going to garner a major reaction unless the screw-up is gargantuan and extends out into the greater animation industry. They and Bagdasarian aren't major media conglomerates or AAA video game studios that always have to worry about being called out by fans. When the companies are this small, it isn't as easy to draw comparisons between the giants. I know I still try a lot of the time, but maybe I just have a different palette when it comes to the media I like outside of Alvin and the Chipmunks. But it's instances like these where you have to look at the writing on the wall and realize the show has been on hiatus for too long to still be in production, the people who make it have said that it was a hassle and want to move on, and companies like PGS can still make mistakes like this. As far as how I feel, would I have liked the series to come back? You can probably tell by the tone of my voice that I'm not devastated in the slightest. Don't get me wrong, I like the series for the most part, even though there are a lot of things that I wish it had done differently. But I think it went on for too long. The show could have ended at 4 seasons with the Christmas special, and I think that would have been fine, because I don't think that it really accomplished anything going on for a 5th season. It just doesn't feel like anything was really added to Alvin and the Chipmunks as a whole. In the end, I think the cancellation of the show can only be a good thing because starting fresh is the only thing to do now, and they have to find a way to make a better first impression than the CGI series did. Not just with the character designs, even though I didn't mind them, but also the tone, because these 11-minute adventures with no lasting impact aren't going to cut it for most people today. I've talked at length before about what could be done to reinvigorate this franchise, and I still intend to talk about other ways that it can in future videos. But ultimately, we're just going to have to wait. Whatever happens, even if it'll be a while, these Chipmunks will come back with style. But feel free to let me know in the comments, did you actually believe the posts from PGS about the CGI series returning? Do you think it still can? And when do you think we'll get the next major update about this franchise? Don't forget that if you want to follow me outside of my videos, you can join my Discord server or follow me on Twitter. As always, links to both will be in the description. With all that said, I hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day, and thank you for your time.